All right, everyone. Welcome back to the Rhodes Show, Week 14, picks and preview. Last week, both Guy and I went 500. Unfortunately, I let the people down and lost my beat the book yet again. 2 weeks straight of me losing the beat the book. That's unacceptable behavior, and I will not continue that behavior. You have my promise, the viewers, that I will continue to win my beat the book like I have at the beginning of the season. Guy, on the other hand, he's red hot, going for 3 straight this week. Guy, how we feeling?
Well, I went 50%, but as I vowed to the viewers last week before the beat the book, I said I was going to destroy beat the book all year, and I have 3-1 on the year on the beat the book. We're going to push that to 4-1 tonight.
All right, so let's go to our records to date. We have myself falls to exactly 500 at 11-11-2. Guy climbing his way back up there at 10-14-2. Our special guest records. Let me remind you, our first special guest, Mr. Prop, 2-3, 0-3 on props. Jason Public, 2-3, 0-2 on money line plays. And last week, we had the mute, and he might want to stay mute after last week's performance. And he actually felt bad enough that he sent in a notes app apology. So I'll read this over to the viewers at home, and you can read along with me. I'm sorry. To my family, friends, and fans, I apologize. There are a few times in life where you are disgusted at your own actions, and my decision-making on last week's Rhodes Show was unacceptable. It all starts from the top, taking a hard look in the mirror over the coming weeks about my picks, and we will be back better than ever. That's a guarantee. Sincerely, the mute, 1-4 and 0-1 in Beat the Book. Now that's a man of integrity.
Big brain?
Yes.
Are we going to push his record to 1-5 after messing up the spelling of Rhodes?
Nope, because that's how we spell the show.
There's no apostrophe S, I believe.
Oh, there is no apostrophe S. You're right. So maybe 1-4 and 1. We'll give him a push for that.
Okay, we'll give him a push.
All right. So our special guests have not been good. Overall record is 5-13. That's just not good. So that's why I had to go back into the bank and take a guy who's been with the lines since the Bovada and my bookie days. That's why we bring on it is our favorite special guest we've ever had, Marcc the Sharp.
I'll give myself a little round of applause. I appreciate that intro. That was fantastic. Obviously, the special guest, I don't really have much to, live up to. Like, it's been pretty bad, right?
It's wide open.
And you yourself, sir, Mr. Barillero, you had a bad week again, beat the book. So I'm coming with a lot of plays. I hope the viewers are okay with that. But I actually have 3 beat the book bets this week. We're going 3-0.
First ever.
So you're play all 3, and I'll tease a little bit because we do have one of them coming Monday night. So just in case we have a shitty Sunday, we're going all in on this bet on Monday because I absolutely love it, but we'll get to that later. It's a pleasure being here. Can't wait to dive into the picks.
Let's go. That got me amped up. 3 beat the books, first time ever. 3 special guests, 4 special guests, 4 first time ever bets on the show. Guy, this is just what it's about.
This is electric, folks. I would recommend maybe sitting back in your seat a little bit. We're going to get to the beat the book. I know you're on the edge of your seat after Marcc the Sharp's intro there, but just sit back a little bit, enjoy. We'll get to the beat the books here in a minute.
Because we got some games to discuss, and we have an Apple Cup rivalry rematch between the Indianapolis Colts and backup of the year, maybe of the last 5 to 10 years, Gardner Minshew, going to Cincinnati and facing Jake Browning, a freshly red hot Jake Browning, and the Cincinnati Bengals, who are +1. The over-under is 44. Guy, as always, take it away.
So I always start off with the first bet here. I like to get out to a hot start. Unfortunately, last week taking the Steelers over, that's on me. I'm very glad we don't have to pick the Steelers. this week is I just can't get a read on them. But I'll tell you what, I got a read on this game. This is a game that I hand selected in the chat before we filmed the show. Hand selected this, Indianapolis, Cincinnati. You might be going, why are you picking this game? Because it's going to be fun, folks. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be terrible. Everything about it is terrible. Cincinnati, terrible town. Indianapolis, never been there, but probably terrible.
Hey, can I chime in? I didn't mind the city of Indianapolis. Been there one time for the NFL Combine. Actually, at Lucas Oil Stadium. You're right about Cincy, but we'll give a little love to Indy. Just a little, though.
Okay. Well, I've never been there, so we'll have to take the Sharp's word on that. But Jake Browning, obviously a monster performance out of him last week. Indianapolis playing a divisional game on the road. I had the Titans +1. All right. Were they +1 or +2.5?
They're +1.
+1. I had them +1.
That was tough.
Yeah, it counts against my record. Overtime, Will Levis versus Gardner Minshew. I mean, the game was fun. It was exactly like how I said. I said the only reason you're going to tune into this game is because all the rest of the games are going to be over. This one's still going to be going on.
You were right. That was spot on. You were right.
Yep, exactly. The Colts have been fun this year. Weird team. Gardner Minshew still got a little bit of Minshew magic in him. Cincinnati, after a hot performance in Jacksonville, where just everything went wrong for Jacksonville. I like the under 44 here. I really like the under 44. I think Cincinnati, I've seen the story 1,000 times with a backup quarterback. Good little Cinderella story, but come on now. You think the Colts aren't going to account for Jamar Chase? I mean, what an idiotic decision by Doug Peterson, just letting him run wild last week. Give me the under 44.
Sharp, what do you got?
So, ironically enough, I'm also on this under of 44. Now, let me tell you why, though. First off, I actually love this game. I actually think this game is going to be exciting, and it's going to be a rowdy atmosphere, even though the city of Cincy absolutely stinks. Their fans are kind of they're a-holes, but they're gonna be rowdy for their team because this is do or die for them. They're 6-6. Colts are 7-5. Both teams are very much in the thick of it when it comes to the AFC wildcard because it's just a shit show right now in the AFC for the final couple wildcard spots. So this has a lot of playoff implications as well. But let me give you a stat. Weather in Cincy isn't going to be great, all right? It's going to be some rain in the morning. Should be done, though, by game time. However, there are going to be wind gusts up to 32 miles per hour. That's why I love the under. And also, fun stat, games with 10+ mile per hour winds are 18-5-1 this season. Think about that. 18-5-1 when there's only 10 mile per hour winds. That's nothing. We're calling for 32 here. Public's already backing this over too. It's shot up. I'm pretty sure it opened somewhere around like
40. It opened at 41.5. I had it. I saw it yesterday.
Exactly. That's 2.5 points. So you know the public's on the over. Everyone's thinking, whoa, these two teams played in a shootout last week. Let's do it again with the backups, right? No, not so fast. I think this game's going under, so I agree with the guy. Under all day.
All right, so I'm going to read exactly what I have written down here. Riding a 4-game win streak and a thrilling OT victory in Tennessee, the Colts traveled to not so dead yet Browning led Bengals. Colts are by far the surprise team in the NFL and staring straight at a wild card spot. The Bengals season was over, according to some fans, especially one Brady Moore, who broke an Iron Man mask in Baltimore. But with a victory over the Jags on Monday night, the season is back on. The Colts over-under record is 8-4 this year. Rain, wind can play a factor, and I think it does in the result of turnovers and defensive touchdowns and a short field. But with all that being said, give me the under as well. Under 44.
All right.
Three of us riding the under. 3 Quake. Let's fucking go. The first ever triple play on the show. All that being said, the number, I loved it at 41.5. And then the fact that it shot up 2.5 points, I switched my pick. I have everything written down. I have over 44 scratched out to under 44. We're riding this under with the boys.
Let's go. I love it.
All right. On to the next game. We have a divisional game in the NFC where the Seattle Seahawks at plus 11, travel to San Francisco, a red hot San Francisco that just played maybe their Super Bowl. And the over-under is at 47. Sharp, we'll let you kick us off here.
So I would say with the Seahawks and 49ers game, there's a lot to kind of digest with this. Like you said, the Niners are coming off of a big win in Philly. Maybe not, to your point, like it's that rematch because of the NFC Championship last year. So it is like, hey, that Super Bowl. But San Francisco knows they're going to have a lot of big games still this year. They're coming back home. Their team total is 9-3 on the season, and Brock Purdy is 8-2 against the spread at home. So you're thinking, all right, what can we pick here? What are we looking at? Also at home, Niners are averaging over 30 points a game. And when they score 30 plus, 7-1 against the spread. There's a lot of more numbers that are saying, hey, Niners, maybe the over. What are we looking at here? Niners 16-4 against the spread in their last 20. To me, I'm thinking Niners are probably winning this game 30-16, 30-17. So we're going to hit maybe an under. I'm staying away from the total. Give me the San Francisco 49ers team total on DraftKings of over 28.5. Love this pick. One of my best bets of the week. Go to the team total.
28.5 team total.
28.5. Then we're going to dabble on a little parlay. So we're going to double up on this game. And if you want to
say, what was it again? What was it again? I'm sorry.
Team total for the Niners. And then we're going to double up on this game because we're going to sprinkle on this parlay. If you're playing the straight, just sprinkle on the parlay. If you want to maybe get a little risky and say screw the straight and just hammer this parlay, I like it a lot. It's the 49ers team total of over 27.5 plus the Niners minus 6.5 gets you at plus 100 odds. Love that parlay, especially at plus 100. All these, stats are saying Niners, Niners, Niners. So we're riding them.
I really like those plays. This is one of those games. Seattle at San Francisco, divisional game. San Francisco, they got over their hump. They heard it all year. Oh, the Eagles destroyed them. Somehow the Eagles fans just forgot they beat Josh Johnson in the NFC Championship game. Let's just get that out front. They did not beat Brock Purdy in this game. Yeah, the national media can be all over Brock Purdy about throwing slants and screens and whatnot, but a win's a win in the NFL, and it's hard to win in the NFL. I don't have a great feel on this game. I do like the Sharps San Francisco team total. I think that's a great pick. With divisional games, double-digit dogs, give me Seattle plus 11. It's ugly, but Seattle's lost two of the last 3 games that they've lost. They've lost 3 games in a row by 1 possession. Haven't looked bad. I like Geno Smith as a quarterback. He's familiar with San Francisco. He's been there before. They don't have to fly across the country or anything to go down there. Give me Seattle plus 11. I think San Francisco wins this game, but I think Seattle can backdoor a plus 11 there.
So, I see what you both said, and I look at this game and I see it differently, Sharp. I see the people are begging you to take Seattle. They're like, Seattle, double-digit dogs, division game. Seattle's coming off a thrilling loss. They finally look good. It doesn't matter. San Fran in a rout, minus 11. This is the San Francisco has found their stride, and they will rout teams until they get to the Super Bowl. San Fran minus 11. Lock it in.
Hey, we're big Niners fan and Dolphins fans this year too. Just
yes, sir. So on to the next game. We have the 2 big kahunas left on the docket. We have the Buffalo Bills at plus 1.5, traveling to the Kansas City Chiefs. The over/under is at 49. Guy, you want to kick us off?
I'll kick us off here, sure. Kansas City.
I'll kick us off, actually. I'll let you kick us off the last one.
Sure, cut me off, no problem.
My apologies. I'll let you kick off the last game. It's your team. So These two teams got a lot riding in this game. We have the Bills. If they lose, their season's done. If they win, the season is much, much, much more back on, and low key, so is the AFC East. The Kansas City Chiefs, if they win, they're right back in the 1 seed and home field. They're right back in that mix. If they lose, they can 100% kiss that 1 seed goodbye. So, and Kansas City has not looked good all year. Buffalo needs this game. Needs this game. That's why you have to take the Chiefs -1.5, and the Chiefs are going to end the Bills season yet again.
I thought about that too. Reiterating all those points, and I see what you did there. A little Jason Public throwback. Say all the Bills, take the Chiefs.
Had to nod.
I see what you're saying here. Bills off a bye though. I like Buffalo +1.5. Buffalo just has to get it done. Now, if they meet the Chiefs in the playoffs, it's over for them. You also got to figure out, I mean, every single year it looks like Kansas City forgets how to play football. They're a playoff team. They're definitely making the playoffs. Doesn't really matter what seed they get. It's tough to bet against Kansas City, which is why we pick these games, folks. They're tough to play. We want to make the decision for you, give you a little insight. But if you're betting with the guy who historically has been, what was it? I had 2 winning weeks in a row after a real hot week. First time we did it. We're not going to mention the week in between. I'm going to take the Bills +1.5 here. And if you're going to take 1.5, you might as well just take the Bills money line. So just give me the Bills money line, and we're going to see what happens in this game. It's going to be great. I'm sure we'll have Romo on the call. Bills money line special plus money. I think Josh Allen wins this game pretty handedly too.
Wow. I like that. And I'll tell you why, though, Guy, in a little bit, why I especially like that, because I do have a pick that ties into the Bills winning this game. But before we get there, I do actually want to touch on this total of 49. Surprisingly, there's a lot of trends that actually back the under here, because you would think Josh Allen, Bills offense, Mahomes, Chiefs offense, high scoring, points. Well, Josh Allen in road games is 26, 17, and 2 to the under in his career. Last 2 seasons, 10 and 3 to the under in road games for Josh Allen. This stat is probably the most mind-boggling thing I've ever seen in my life. The Chiefs' second half unders are 11-1 this year. The damn Kansas City Chiefs second half unders. They can't score in the second half. Maybe they fixed it, but when I saw that, that's just absolutely insane. This stat is actually probably even crazier, but it's actually insane. Mahomes, 32, 22, and 1 to the under in his home starts. So Mahomes in Arrowhead, or whatever the hell it's called now, Geha Stadium, the unders hit. Unders. And that goes to 12-3 the last 2 seasons, and which is actually the most profitable home under quarterback in the NFL is freaking Patrick Mahomes. So obviously, all those unders, what do you think I'm taking? The under 49. I'm backing the most profitable home under quarterback in the league over the past 2 years. Now, here's a little fun play that a little risky play that I want to throw out there. It's going to be Josh Allen under 0.5 interceptions. So essentially, Josh Allen did not throw an interception at +120.
Ooh.
This is risky because
I like that.
Josh Allen has actually thrown an interception in 8 straight games. So you're thinking, why in the hell would you
He's due not to?
Right? The Chiefs are tied for 20th in the league in turnovers, and they only have 6 interceptions on the year, which is tied for 23rd. So I'm taking a little risk here, and then it all ties back into the guys bet with the Bills money line, because if you like the Bills money line, sprinkle these dudes to win the Super Bowl. I sprinkled them earlier this week at +5,000, so plus 5,000. They're currently down to +4,000, but on other books, it's floating around +3,500. DraftKings, you can still get +4,000. If they win this game, that's plummeting. Are you kidding me? They're going to be right back into the thick of it when it comes to the playoffs. You know, they're sitting there right now, 11 seed. Everyone's writing them off, right? Especially if they lose this game. But if I'm looking at the standings right now, if they win this game, get to 7-6, a couple other things happen, they're setting themselves up to make a run. And guess what? Imagine this team. I know you said, hey, maybe still competing again in the AFC East with the Dolphins. What if they become the 5, 6, 7 wild card team? Who the hell wants to play the Bills in the first round of the playoffs? I think they can make a run if they win this game. And if you think they're going to win this game, sprinkle them to win the Super Bowl, because this will be the best value you get for the rest of the season.
I like it. I like it. All right. To kick us off our last game, we have playoff atmosphere that's going to feel like an Arrowhead. It's going to jump right into Dallas, where we have the Philadelphia Eagles, who just came off a walloping. They got walloped, exposed, fraud goals, +3.5, taking on the Cowboys at home. The over-under is 51.5. Guy, it's your Cowboys. I'll let you kick us off.
I appreciate that, big brain. And we all know I'm a big Cowboys guy. Always have been. Steelers, Cowboys. Steelers, Cowboys. Steelers, Cowboys. Love the Cowboys. Love Jerry Jones. Love Dak Prescott. I'm going to take Dallas -3.5 here. No problem. 14 straight home wins for Dallas. They win this game, they're right back in the division. They're right back there to win the division and knock the Eagles out of the 1 seed at 9-3 right now. If they lose this game, they got a tough stretch here. This is their last home game of the year. So they got Philly, they got to go to Buffalo, and they got to go to Miami. So they got to get this one done. This is their last NFC game of the year. They tie up with the Eagles here. They're going to have a tough stretch the next 2 weeks. But if the Eagles somehow pull this off, the division's theirs, full control. They play Seattle, and then they play the dead dog New York Giants. Dallas at home. Dallas been hearing it all season since they barely lost to the Eagles when they played them at Lincoln Financial. I like the Cowboys here to put up a lot of points. As an NFL fan, been watching the NFL for 26 years on this earth. It's a copycat league. The San Francisco 49ers absolutely destroyed the Philadelphia Eagles. That's really not going to come into play during playoffs, but the Cowboys are going to do the same game plan that the 49ers have. Jalen Hurts looked pedestrian. They got A.J. Brown and Devonta Smith, but the Dallas Cowboys just want this game more. I like Dallas -3. They're going to come out. They're fired up. This is the game they've been waiting for. They've been playing all these games the rest of the year just so they could get to this one on Sunday night. Give me the Dallas Cowboys -3.5 and an easy win. Easy win over the Eagles. People are going to have a lot of questions about the Eagles after this game.
I like it. You want me to go?
Sharp.
I'll chime in here because honestly, I agree with the guy too. And let me give you some stats that's just going to make you probably throw the 401k on Dallas. However, do not do that. You have to bet responsibly. Only bet within your means. Dak, 27-11 against the spread in the NFC East. That's the second most profitable quarterback against his own division. Guess who the top 4 are? Aaron Rodgers, Dak Prescott, Big Ben, Tom Brady against their own division against the spread. Cowboys are also
company.
Yeah, right. Cowboys most profitable team in night games since 2021, 12-5 against the spread. Dak night favorite, 17-9-1 against the spread, 9-1 against the spread since 2021. Dak on extended rest since they played last Thursday, 15-6 against the spread. McCarthy on rest, 35-23-3. It's literally Cowboys trends. As a favorite, Dak 7-1 against the spread against the Eagles. He's 5-1 against the spread at home as well. It's literally insane. Mike McCarthy is the most profitable coach in this spot over the last 20 years as a nighttime favorite, 31-17-1 against the spread. It's insane. The line moved. This opened at -1. Obviously, we know it's jumped to -3.5. More Cowboys stats. Dak 21-10 against the spread when the line moves against him by 2 or more points, which this has. McCarthy 51-27 against the spread, first division as a favorite. this stat is actually insane. Cowboys home games this year, they have scored 41, 45, 49, 43, 30, and 38. That's insane. The last 6 meetings against these teams have hit the over as well. So I have a lot of plays here. If you want to be conservative and don't overexpose yourself, I'm going to give out a parlay as well. Give me the Cowboys team total over 27.5. They're putting up 30 plus easily in all their home games. Give me the Cowboys minus 3.5 because of Dak and McCarthy in this type of spot. Also, give me the over of 51.5. And then I'm going to parlay Cowboys money line with their team total of over 26.5. Those, and like I said, just take the parlay if you don't want to overexpose yourself, but I'm taking them all.
So are you taking them all separate, or are you taking them all as a parlay?
All set. So Cowboys team total over 20. These are my
So
straight.
this could potentially be disastrous for you and your
disastrous, and I hate it. So that's why I'm like, you don't want to overexpose, just do the parlay. But I love the Cowboys, and honestly, now that I'm saying it, it's like, wow, maybe how much you love them, you should go opposite. But I don't care. Guy, great stat. Last home game for the Cowboys. This is literally going to be the last time we can bet them this year at home with all these trends. Jump on it, jump on it, jump on it. Team total over 27.5. That's bet 1. Cowboys spread minus 3.5. Bet 2. Bet 3 over 51.5. And then bet 4 is the parlay of team total over 26.5. Cowboys money line.
So those are some damning stats.
It's crazy.
I told Guy to hold me accountable and not to double down on this game, and I'm going to hold myself accountable and not double down on this game. This is a system play for me, straight system play. You know, you look at Dallas, they're electric at home, scoring 30, 40. Eagles, they have a great offense too. Primetime unders have nearly hit at 75% clip this season. 51.5. That is just way too high. System play on primetime unders have been a blessing this year, been a moneymaker, and I'm going to continue to ride the under primetime under 51.5.
Honestly,
I love that play, Big Brain. I love that play.
I'm on
system
the
play. System play.
I'm on the over because I do think maybe this game the Cowboys might get to like 34, and if the Eagles can put up into the 20s, that over's hitting. However, I can also see this like the Niners Seahawks, maybe like a 31 17 game.
Yeah, 31-13 or some shit like that. Yeah.
I can see that happening.
Yeah. All right. So, you know, after the 4th game, it's always beat the book time, but you know, it's a special weekend in football, and some people love this game. Myself included. Some people think this game should not exist anymore, which those people are retraced. Now, I'm of course talking about Army Navy, our salute to service play of our prime. We have Army and Navy matching up yet again. Navy's +3. The over under is at a classic 27.5. I'll start us off. You know what I'm taking. I'm Mr. Under. I'm always riding this under 27.5. You're always going to be in this game, whether you take the over, whether you take the under. Just take the under. The over hit last year at a miracle, I believe. The under is going to hit again this year, under 27.5.
Yeah, it's tough not to take the under in this game. And in this game, I usually just absolutely despise games like this, but I love watching Army Navy every year. The pageantry is there, the flyover, the uniforms, the pregame video. I take them every year. Give me Army -3. Navy, we saw them a couple times this year. You can't get a read on either of these teams whatsoever. Nope. Whatsoever. I mean, the triple option is just such a bad offense. And hilariously, the only team that knows how to run a triple option is Air Force, which gets snubbed out of this big matchup every year because Air Force is clearly every single year the best military academy at football. Give me Army -3 in this game. I just always play Army. I always like Army. If I ever join the military, I'm joining the Army over the Navy. Always been more of a land guy than a sea guy. So, like Army's uniforms a little bit better this year. Give me Army -3. Army won last year overtime. That's the only reason that the over hit here. But, yeah, I'll just take Army -3.
All right. Well, it seems like you both also, I mean, like that over too, or I'm sorry, the under. Well, I'm actually going the opposite, and you're going to think I'm freaking insane.
I do. I do.
I do too.
Damn over. And here's why.
Oh, no.
He's got a why, folks.
Here's why. You are probably thinking, oh, it's Army Navy. Obviously, these overs are low, right? Or the over-under is low. It's going to go under, going to go under. This over-under is actually kind of disrespectful of 27.5. 24 of the last 30 Army-Navy games have gone over 27.5, with 3 of them landing right on 27. So one of us may be hitting the hook. However, over the last 10 years, to my whole point of like, why is this 27.5? I think it's because the market's finally adjusting. Over the last 10 years, this game, the lowest that has been offered is at 32.5. That's 5 more points. That's insane with how these unders have been hitting in this game. Last year, this game did have 37 points being scored. Army's averaging 43 this year, while Navy's averaging 41. Obviously, everyone's on the under. Public's all over it. Under, then service academies, under. Screw this under. It's going over. We're getting 35 in Foxborough. It's playing on Saturday, so no weather is going to be an issue. Over is going to be the top play in this game, and you'll all be thanking me later when you come back and watch this.
You know, it doesn't matter. You throw out the stat books when Army and Navy plays. Army could be undefeated and score 50 a game. And when they play Navy, it's going to be a struggle to 10 every single year. So taking this over is absolutely insane, but I have to respect it. It's your salute to service play of your prime.
It's going to hit.
So now, folks.
Thank you to all the troops out there.
Thank you.
Of course, thank you, our troops. Of course, thank you for protecting our country.
100%. And to Guy's point, if I was joining one, unfortunately, it wouldn't be either of these two. I'd probably join Air Force.
Well, there we go. All right, folks, the time we've been waiting for, the Beat the Book play of the day, our favorite plays from week 14. As always, our special guest, Marcc the Sharp, kick us off.
All right. So, like I teased earlier, I got 3 of these bad boys this week. I know usually, hey, these people give out 1. I'm trying to make up, right? First appearance, I'm coming out here, I'm coming out swinging. And honestly, I love all these picks because these stats back them up. We're going to go 2-0 on Sunday, 1-0 on Monday Night Football, parlay all 3 of them, do whatever you want. And in the off chance we do go 0-2, the Monday night bet is such a lock, we're hammering it. But the first pick of the day is going to be the Carolina Panthers at +5 on the road in New Orleans against the Saints. That is so ugly that they actually might win outright. You want to get really crazy? Sprinkle Panthers money line. Bryce Young's 2nd career win, and here's why. Saints 0-5 against the spread at home this year. Saints 5-15 against the spread at home since 2021. That's the worst in the NFL. Betting the underdog in low total games when it's under 42 or under have been hitting at a 60% against the spread rate. Carolina is a prime example, and this totals at 37.5.
Wow.
You want to talk about why we're truly backing this? Is because Dennis Allen might be the worst head coach in the NFL. It's insane. He's even coaching the Saints. He's a great defensive coordinator, whatever, not a head coach. He's 13-21-1 against the spread for teams who are under 500. That's pathetic. 12-26 when he has normal rest against the spread. 23-40-2 against the spread as a coach, which is literally the 3rd worst in the last 20 years. He's 5-14-2 against the spread first divisional opponents. And he's 1-7-1 against the spread against divisional opponents while he's been with the Saints. we don't know who's playing quarterback. We think it's Jameis Winston. I don't know if either of you have seen anything. Carr might play. It's looking like Winston. It doesn't matter because both of these guys stink. Carr is 8-26-2 when he's a favorite of 3 or more points, including 14-1 against the spread in his last 16. When he's favored by more than 3 points, he's literally only covered once in the last 16 games. That's terrible. Terrible. He's also 1-11-1 since 2021. And then Jameis, 8-19-1 against the spread as a favorite. That's terrible too. So it's Panthers, Bryce Young, they stink. They don't know who the head coach is going to be. Maybe Tomlin gets traded there as a head coach. I'd kind of like that. But that's just neither here or there. We'll jump into pick 2 so I don't dive into a rabbit hole about Mike Tomlin. But yeah, Panthers +5 is number 1. Number 2, strictly a weather play. I don't have any other angle besides the weather is going to be so bad. We're taking an under. Rams, Ravens under 39.5. Like I said, strictly weather. Same like how I mentioned before when we were talking about Colts, Bengals, games with 10+ mile per hour winds are 18-5-1 to the under. Well, the forecast in Baltimore on Sunday is saying that there's going to be persistent wind gusts for up to 45 miles per hour. Good luck, Justin Tucker. Good luck to whoever that Rams kicker is. I'm going to mispronounce his last name, so I ain't even going to try. They're also calling for 90% of rain throughout the entire game. The Rams D is only allowed 17 points per game over the last 4, and the Ravens run the ball more than literally any other team in the NFL. I wish we could have gone on this sooner because it has dropped from 44.5, so it's already dropped 5 points. I would not be surprised if it keeps dropping. So hop on this now, 39.5 under. Those are the 2 picks for Sunday. We're going to dive into Monday Night Football. I didn't even realize 2 games Monday Night Football this week. So it's just Dolphins, Titans, but the Packers game is Monday Night Football too. So Dolphins, Titans traveling to Miami. Oh, this is all Dolphins. This spread is huge, but I don't give a shit. -13 is the play. Dolphins this year, 7-0 against the spread against under 500 teams. The Titans are going to be without Jeffrey Simons in the middle of their defense. That's going to be insanely a huge loss for them. Miami at home this year has won by 50, 15, 21, 14, and 7. So they would have covered the spread in 4 of the 5 of those games. So half of Tennessee has lost on the road 6 times. 3 of them this year have been by more than 14 points. Tua, 16-6 against the spread at home. The Miami freaking Dolphins, who are going to go to the Super Bowl this year, are 37, 21-3 against the spread since 2016 at home. That's the best across the NFL since that time. Number 1 against the spread at home since 2016. Random Tua stat, 24-10-1 against the spread when he plays in the Eastern time zone. And he's also 9-3 against the spread as a favorite of over 4 points. Dolphins all day. We're going 3-0 and beat the books. But if Sunday isn't kind to us, gambling God said, sorry, we can't give you Sunday. Heard making all the loot back Monday Night Football -13 with the Fins, but always gamble responsibly.
You know, I'll hit it next. I love the Saints slander. I love it. I just that's the only note that I had from that. The under weather play, weather does exist, and 40 to 50 mile per hour winds is absolutely ridiculous. Yeah, and like you said, that total will probably drop from 39.5. And then who was your last play?
Yes.
The Dolphins beat the shit out of sub 500 teams.
Facts.
My beat the book. I said it over the trio treat. I would have played him last week if they weren't on the bye. Anytime you see the Detroit Lions play football, you take the over. Chicago, Detroit, over 43.5. System play. Detroit Lions overs. That's all I got from that game. Chicago weather, for those of you, it's supposed to, I saw it's supposed to rain on Saturday, but it's going to clear up
Yep.
By Sunday, it's going to be partly cloudy, 37. It's going to be a nice chill day in Chicago.
I will say about that weather, because I saw that it's going to probably actually be nice on Sunday because all the weather that Baltimore, Cleveland, all these East Coast teams are going to get on Sunday, Chicago's getting on Saturday. I love that over.
Yep. All right, Guy, wrap us up.
Well, I'll wrap us up here just like how I always do. 3-1, beat the book, easy play. This is, I mean, I was looking at the board. I love the Sharps play. First beat the book play, the Panthers. I think the Panthers went outright. I straight up just think the Saints really, really stink. I was looking at the board. I love the Panthers. I'm glad I didn't take them because of the Sharp. And I'm just glancing at the board like I do every single week. And every single week, the Texans jump right out to me every single week. When I looked at the lines 2 days ago, they were minus 5.5 against the Jets. Zach Wilson moves the line 2 points. Give me the Texans minus 3.5. Zach Wilson absolutely stinks. He can't get off he just can't get off the bench. Robert Saleh, quarterback roulette, doesn't know how to fix the team. TJ Stroud, offensive rookie of the year. Texans minus 3.5. They figured out how to play football down in Houston. AFC has a serious problem out there.
Sharp, can I ask you something?
Yeah.
If for the sake of the show, we always do a parlay with the special guest. If you had one play for the parlay, what would it be? Would it be the Panthers, the under, or the Dolphins?
Okay, so we're gonna do a parlay.
Well, no, you're right. It's the beat the book parlay.
Yeah. So the two of you. So I gotta just pick one of those as my favorite.
Yeah, which one's it?
I mean,
it seems like the Dolphins were the favorite.
They are, but if we want an all Sunday parlay, it would be totally okay with that final leg being the Carolina Panthers +5.
I love it.
Let's
all right.
go.
So we got the beat the book parlay, Houston Texans minus 3.5, the over 43.5 in Lions Bears, and the Carolina Panthers +5. Plus 595. If you put 25 on it, you win 173.
Hey, tell the folks, just in case they really want to get wild, maybe throw like $5 on it. Give us the Panthers money line in that parlay.
Let's check the odds on that. I'll switch out the Panthers +5, do Panthers money line. If you throw, that's plus 975. If you throw $10 on that, you win 100.
See, now, like we said, gamble responsibly. You only gamble within your means, but you're sprinkling that parlay and hammering the other one.
All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Let's win some money. We got special thanks to Marcc the Sharp. We got a lot of plays. Hopefully you ride him. This could be a great day for Marcc the Sharp, or it could be a disastrous one. I'm leaning towards great. Thanks, everybody. Take it easy. Stay deggish.